Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, today we're going to be checking out a knife from Revo. Now, Revo is of course associated with Blade Runner systems. They've sent us out a couple knives before, but recently contacted me and asked, hey, we'd like to send you out a couple more knives to check out. So, sure, okay. Well, what they sent out was, they sent out two, but they sent out this one, the Revo Ness. Now, we'll kind of figure out where the name Ness comes from. But I do have to tell you, when I first saw this knife and I saw this handle, I was like, okay. The handle did throw me off a little bit. I was like, and then of course, I've seen it. My buddy KC over at Knives Fast, he had, a Ness for review as well. And I watched his review and I'm like, okay, and then I listened to what he had to say, and I'm like, all right. But when I first got the Ness, I was like, it just looks like a really odd shaped handle. And it does. It did to me. So I'm like, okay, we'll check it out. I tell you what, I was very pleasantly surprised. I just have to be honest with you. Well, let's talk about it, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of things. But here you go. You've got, they call it dark earth, but it's kind of that OD green G10. There's also a kind of a bluish gray, a black, and then there's a carbon fiber with this same milling going on in it. The milling is done, it's done really well. The overall fit and finish of this knife, it's done pretty darn well, I have to say. Now, it is a little bit odd. Your liners do stick out there a little bit with your lanyard hole there. So lanyard fans, of course, be happy. Now, your liners are just a tad proud. And when I say just a tad, that's exactly what I mean. They are slightly, ever so slightly proud of the handle covers here. But everything is milled. There you go. It's milled out pretty well, and chamfered off. And, I was pretty darn impressed with the overall construction of the knife. Now, you do have a deep carry clip. Yeah. Recessed pocket clip screws. Score. Well done, Revo. Well done. Now, the pocket clip is a little slender, but I tell you what, it's a pretty solid clip. We'll talk a little bit about that more in the carry, of course, but yeah. This knife was actually kind of full of surprises, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, you can see there, it is a flipper. Liner lock. Oh, let's check our centering. What's our centering look like? Centering is, now it is off towards the show side just a little bit, as you can see there. It is off just a little bit to the show side. It doesn't rub, doesn't affect anything. And we'll check out how solid our blade is here in a minute. But you've got this flipper tab. It is kind of a low profile flipper tab. And I did read a review on one of the retailers that carries it, that somebody said it was stiff, it hurt their finger, that type of thing. Yeah, not the issue here. This thing flips really nice, and it is low profile, but yeah, I have absolutely zero issue with that flipper tab. And the detent is pretty darn good, as you saw there. Once it breaks, it goes. Yeah, it doesn't rock it out if you're just trying to get it to come out, but yeah, it flips. It flips every single time. It is a liner lock. Let's see, what's our lockup look like? I'm going to give it 25-30% on the lockup. Now, it is solid. There's no wiggle, there's no wobble, there's no play. So, with the action and where it is right now, I honestly really wouldn't mess with it. Yeah, it's not perfectly centered, but it really doesn't affect anything. You've got to get it past that detent ball. The action's pretty darn nice. So, it's off center a little. Okay. Nothing major there. Now, there you go. The Ness. The Ness gets its name from that Nessmuk style blade. Got a nice stone-washed finish. As you can see it, you've got the Revo R there. And then, I thought, is it really, really small? Is it say it? No, I think that's fuzz. But it is a D2 blade. So you don't have a whole lot of marking on that big old blade. And when I say big old blade, I dig it. I like that blade. And haven't really had a whole lot, experience with a Ness style blade, but I am digging it. You got that, I mean, it's high flat grind. It's full flat grind, actually. But yeah, it is a pretty sweet looking blade. Now, let's get some size comparisons, and then we'll get into our overall on the knife. Well, let's get our measurements first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty much 8 inches. I mean, I'm probably, depending on how I measure it, they call it a solid 8. And yeah, okay. Just depending on how's your measurement, I kind of getting a little bit more, but all right. Your handle's got a little bit of an angle off there, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4. I get not quite 4 3/4. They're giving it 4.7, so okay. We're agreeing so far. And then right about a 3.5 inch blade, and your cutting edge is just going to be about 3 3/8 ish on the cutting edge. So, well, that's what they call it. Okay, cool. They call it a 3.6 inch blade, so whatever. Now, grip length. Your grip length's going to be right about 3.5, point to point. And you're not probably going to get a whole lot more than that. So about a 3.5 inch grip. Now, size comparisons. Here it is up against the PM2. Pretty comparable, actually, as far as size go. Maybe a little bit in the handle. Maybe. Blade, it's pretty darn close. So very comparable to the PM2. Oh, sorry about that. Thought I was going to sneeze, but I stopped it. All right. And then there's our bug out. So definitely larger knife than the bug out if it's matching up with the PM2. Again, carry, like I said, it carried really well in pocket. I was nice retention. Knife disappears. Like I said, it's pretty darn solid, that clip. I mean, it's got some give to it. I mean, you can actually lift it off there, but it's got really great retention. So no issues there. Sorry, guys, wasn't stopping that sneeze. Anyway, back to the Ness here. Overall, that is what really, initially kind of concerned me, was just that shape of that handle. I was like, all right. And Casey said, yeah, it fits pretty good, okay. Yeah, it does. It fits my hand really well. And it is super comfortable. This cutout here gives my thumb just an absolutely awesome place to land. You kind of got your little milling there going on for your index finger, and then the other other three, excuse me. I got four fingers and a thumb, not 5 fingers. Anyway, pretty much a full 4-finger grip on it. Little bit left over, not a lot, but a little. It's really comfortable, guys. It is super comfortable for me. Access to your liner lock is pretty darn good. You got decent access to it. And there is some milling going on. There was a little bit. Nope. No, well, I mean, there is, but that's really for your liner. So not a whole lot of milling going on, actually. Not on this one. So it's, I didn't get a weight on it. That's what I was missing. We didn't do a weight. Let's see what it weighs. 136, so it's a little over 4. Oh, almost 5. Okay. Really? That's actually kind of surprising. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but yeah, I was thinking more towards the 4 side, not 5. But, I mean, come on. It's a good size knife, so the 4.8 carries fine. I don't think the weight is an issue for this knife, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, it's a bigger knife, so a little bit of weight behind it is not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. Yeah, the grip, guys, that is what I keep coming back to that. I was super, super surprised at how this knife felt in hand. I was concerned. I really, really was. And it is not an issue for me. I can only tell you how it feels in my hand. And, I did take it to work. I had it with me, cut a few things, as always. And I handed it to a couple of other guys. And, they said fairly similar things. That it was actually a pretty comfortable knife in hand. And one guy has hands about my size, and the other guy has hands a little bit larger than mine. But he had no issues with it either. So, guys, and I'm guilty of it. I am. I mean, I'm telling you, I was concerned when I first saw this handle. You can't always judge a book by its cover, and you can't always judge a knife by its handle, apparently, because the Ness impressed me, guys. It really did. It is super comfortable. It's really, really well built. And let's see, Knife Center, I think, is selling them for like $48. It's D2, G10. I mean, yep, still G10 and D2. I get it. It's a little bit different because we've got this Ness style blade. We've got the different style handle that really, really works for me. And guys, it's an overall impressive knife for me, guys. I don't know how else to put it. The concern was there. The concern has been completely alleviated. It's got a really good action. I like the Ness style blade. The handle is super comfortable. It carries pretty darn well. I guess my only knock on it is it's a little off center. Okay. To be perfectly honest with you, that doesn't bother me very much. The action is still really good. The knife operates like it's supposed to. So, okay. It's a little off center. All right. Yeah. $48 for these. The G10 models, the carbon fiber model is selling for right around $66. I did notice, I'm going to leave a link down in the description. I'm actually going to leave you the link to the knifecenter.com. Plus, I'll leave you all the links to Revo, their Instagram, and all that stuff. But I actually looked on Blade HQ, and Blade HQ is actually selling the G10 ones for $66 as well. So that kind of surprised me. Almost $20 difference between Blade HQ and Knife Center. I don't think these are on sale. They really don't say they're on sale at Knife Center. So, yeah, $48 is not bad, guys. Overall, what are we going to give this knife? Blues Review Crew. There we go. This isn't Blues Clues. There's not a little blue dog running around. Wow, my kids watch that show a lot. Whew, flashbacks. Anyway, they give it an 8, guys, and you know what? I kind of have to agree with that. I'd probably give it an 8.5 if it was centered, okay? So I'll give it an 8 because it's not. It doesn't bother me a bit. I was super impressed with the knife. Yeah. And for $48, I really don't think you can go wrong with this one. Super, super thankful that Revo sent this knife out. Super appreciative that they did as well. Thank you so very much to them for doing that. And thank you guys for checking out the Revo Ness with me today. Always appreciated it. Definitely. Guys, just remember, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.